Good morning. Good morning. It's nice to see everybody. Welcome to our weekly Dreamers Download Show. When today we are going to be talking to Tammy, and I'm going to bring her up on the stage, and we will get into a conversation with her. And so we're going to navigate this a little bit. Hi, Tammy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh,
Yes. Hello.
good. Good. Nice to see you. I know
Nice
we
to see you.
I know we don't always like to be on camera, or at least I don't, but it's not so bad today.
It doesn't really bother me. I work for a Web3 company where I spend a lot of my time on camera. So
Oh, good. Yeah,
yeah.
I think we get I mean, I have gotten more comfortable with it as, the more we do or the more I have. But yeah, anyway, so well, welcome to the show.
Thank
And
you.
I love your background, all your
Thanks.
beautiful art. What a
Yeah.
way to get it. I love it. So great marketing. Great marketing. I have to comment on that. So we're here to talk about you, and I'm so excited to hear about how you got started in AI and well, a little bit about your background. So take the show.
Well, I'm going to start it out with saying today's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. I forgot. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I know
that's
you told me
okay.
that. So
So
happy
it's
birthday.
so cool. I just feel like it's such a cool day to do this, right?
Right?
So I turned 52 today, and
Oh,
honestly, I feel like the 50s are just going to be amazing. I feel like I'm really kind of coming into my own and figuring out. I My career took like a hard pivot, right?
right.
So I found this place about 2 years ago, Web3 NFTs, and I really feel like I'm finding my place and my
Right.
footing here. And it takes quite a bit of work to find out what you want to do in Web3. So I feel like I'm in a good space.
That's good. I mean, I think we probably came into the space around the same time. I was on on Twitter. I've been on Twitter for 15 years,
Yeah.
but I found Web3 and NFTs
Yeah.
and the courage to say, okay, I'm going to just throw my art out there and let people see if they like it or not. So, yeah, I'm kind of on the same track. Did it take you? I mean, for me, it took about 2 years to get my footing, as you spoke about,
Yeah.
to kind of well to network, to make connections, to uh, figure out what was appropriate or not appropriate. What you could do. So, do you have other streams? I mean, okay, so tell us. I looked over your collections. They're
Uh-huh.
amazing. I
Thank you.
love your color, the textures, how you present it and everything. So, how did you I mean, so what were you doing before you did NFTs? So what brought you into this world?
Well, I have over 20 years experience in sales and marketing for corporate retail, and that's what I did, and that's what I thought I was going to do the
Right?
rest of my life because we have this, insane feeling that we can plan our journey in life, and then life
Yeah.
happens. And
Right?
yeah, so I was doing that, and I had an injury. I had an accident, and I
Okay.
injured part of my spine. So I ended up having to have surgery, and that led to a disease. And I was diagnosed in 2019, March of 2019. And when I was diagnosed, I already had researched about the disease. So I knew when they told me it was official, I had it. I knew right then that my life was going to change. And
Mhm.
so um, I had to give up what I did, what I thought I was going to do for the rest of my life. And at the same time, my children were leaving home. So I really had to kind of reinvent myself and figure out, well, who was I? If I wasn't tied to work and I wasn't tied to my children,
Right.
who was I? Right.
Right, right.
And so after a couple dark years of trying to figure out, what I was going to do with myself. I found NFTs and Web3, and that was it. It took me like a day to figure out that I knew where I belonged, and
Right.
that this was now going to be my journey. And it's done so much for me. I've always been creative. I love art, love music, love dancing, love everything creative.
Right.
And I'm a storyteller. I've always been a storyteller. So I did a couple of different things in Web3, and then when AI was came out last year, I was like, this is like perfect for me, because I knew I would be able to use my gift of storytelling
Right.
to create a relationship with the AI to then, release the images inside myself. So
Right, right. I think, AI has given a lot of people who can't like draw. I mean, artists come in all flavors and sizes and those kinds of things. So you don't have to use traditional tools. When I saw AI, I was going, okay, this is what I was waiting for. The
yeah.
tools of AI, because I've been I'm sure you being in marketing and, retail, that you used Photoshop and other
Oh
tools,
yeah.
so you were well versed in digital tools. But then when you could open up and say, okay, well, this is what I kind of want to see. I was into photography. This is how I did it. I
Yeah.
took photographs and then went in and manipulated it with Photoshop or other deep mind tools or things like that. So, but
Right.
anyway, so I think when I saw this, it was like, oh, yeah, I've just waited for all this because paints are messy. I love painting. I do.
Yeah.
I've painted. I've used all kinds of tools to create. So, and
Yeah.
I'm
And
sure you have too.
yeah, and that's well, back in high school, my art was shown in
Right.
a show, and then I've sketched and drawn, my entire life. And then when I found Web3s and NFTs, I thought that I was going to do NFTs. That's what I thought my path was. So, but I really struggled with transitioning into digital. I bought my iPad, and I had my pen, and I downloaded Procreate and all of the tools that I would need. And I started drawing, and I started minting those when I first started back in 21. I started minting those. And now I look back and I think, oh God. But my life took a turn to a different area in Web3. And I followed that for a little while. And then when AI came out, I was like, okay, this is really what I'm supposed to be doing, because it was so natural for me. Obviously, I did a ton of research. I'm a researcher, so I researched everything there was to know about Dolly and Midjourney and the aspect ratios and the lighting and the depth perceptions and everything that I would need to know technical. And then I started using that to create these characters that I have developed. I think we lost our host, everyone. So, welcome to the Tammy Show. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we're gonna wait and see if she comes back on. But in the meantime, if anyone's here, I don't know. I will keep the show going. So, um, I have a collection coming out next week called Mother's Day. And I will talk about that for a minute. So, this collection, if you go to my Twitter space and you look at my pinned tweet, you'll see some of the images that are going to be released in the Mother's Day collection. It is not your typical Mother's Day collection. It is not full of flowers, bright colors. And I'm really known as an artist, I think, for my vibrant colors that I use in my art. I love abstract, and I love using the female form. But this collection is more muted. And there's quite a difference in this compared to anything else that I've done. And I really think that I had to dive deep within myself to figure out what I wanted to relay. So Mother's Day is coming, and everyone is going to be releasing collections. Well, not everyone, but some people. And I wanted to look at the other side of motherhood, the dark side of motherhood. So, as women, when we become mom, we give up a bit of ourselves. we really kind of, oh, you're back. Hi.
Thank you.
I
It's
just kept talking.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. The power went out, and so everything kind of reset. I live in the mountains, and so when there's a snowstorm like we had. So anyway, what did I miss? No.
I actually started talking to everyone about my Mother's Day collection that's coming
Oh,
up.
good, 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 good. So tell me about it that I missed. What
Okay.
I missed.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
that's okay. That's okay. Um, so yeah, the Mother's Day collection is a little bit different. That's what I was explaining. It's a little bit different than my normal work. My normal work is usually a lot of it is abstract surrealism. I
Right,
love decoupage, but I love vibrant colors, and a lot of my colors are the same. But this new collection is not. It's different. It's more muted. It's very striking, and I'm trying to tell a story.
mhm,
So what I did was I tried to relay how we feel sometimes as moms, because we tend to put ourselves in the background, and we let these children shine, and sometimes our spouse shine, and we make sure the house looks great. We have all of these things that we do, and
yes,
we tend to give so much of ourselves that sometimes we feel empty, like there's not a lot left for us
right,
to fulfill ourselves with. And we do this willingly and happily. I don't want
right,
anyone to think that I regret being a mother. I love being a mom.
right,
But I think that it's very important to recognize the self sacrifice, the
mhm,
loss of identity,
right,
and the loneliness you can feel sometimes as a woman, um, being a mom. Because, like, I tell this story about when I was a young mother, and I was married to someone in the military, and we got stationed in Hawaii, which was, you couldn't come home, right? Because
right,
it would cost a fortune to fly home, and I had two young children at the time. And in the military, they call each other by their last name. So I was Herd's wife, and I was their mom, right?
right,
And I literally think I was in Hawaii for almost 3 years, and I think for like 2 years, I don't remember like hearing my name. Like,
right,
I was the
right,
wife and the mom. I was, so if I went to the school, I was, oh, you're, Nick and Jordan's mom, or, Adam and Jordan's
right,
mom.
right.
And I was Herd's wife. And I remember being so lonely over there too, because none of my family was around. I was a young mother. He was gone a lot. And I thought to myself, um, does anyone even see me? Like, who am I now?
Right.
And so when I created this collection, I went there. I
Mhm.
really went to how it felt to um, hollow out yourself to make sure that these children get the best chance at a great future.
Right.
And it's so worth it, because now my children are grown, and they're wonderful, productive members of society, great men. And so I've done my job,
Right.
but I did have to give up a little bit of that. So that's what this collection is about.
I'm really excited to see it. Where are you gonna launch it, or are you gonna sell it?
So it's unknown origin.
Okay.
And I'm doing it that way because it's going to be a collection of one-on-ones. I
Okay.
really put a lot of work and time into developing this collection. It's been a couple months now.
Right.
And so what I did was I've released the kind of a pre-release multi-edition. It'll be the
Okay.
only multi-edition, and it's 0.005. So it's
Okay.
$10,
Right,
and
right.
it's called Flowers. And so anybody that picks up Flowers gets early access and a discount rate to the Mother's Day collection. But they
Nice.
also get put into a drawing on Friday, and where I will give the first Mother's Day piece to someone that collected flowers. So,
Oh, nice, nice. Oh, that's good. So basically your flowers is like the ticket for the raffle. Or
Flowers is the
yeah.
ticket for the raffle, and it's your early access, and discounted rate for the one-on-one collection.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a nice, I think, tool to use for other artists. A little hint when other artists are releasing their collections. Because I
Yeah.
mean, we are, had you ever heard about the Nifty Dreams DAO before?
I think that I don't know if I followed it, but I researched the heck out of it after I met you. So yeah,
Right, right. No, we have artists from around the world. So we're getting to know each other and sharing hints and tips and those kinds of things to encourage and uplift and share and all those things. So
and that's
I
so important.
oh,
So
it is
yeah,
because especially because we're kind of some of us are work from home or isolated to some
right.
degree. And this opportunity to be on camera and to share and educate people. We kind of felt our, like you said in the beginning, you kind of figured out what to do. If you
Yeah,
become part of the group, then we're going to all uplift you, and no question is too much. I mean, just
yeah.
ask, and it's not a stupid question or whatever. So you I wanted to go back. I mean, I love your collection, and I wanted to go
Mhm.
back to you personally as an artist.
Okay.
How do you handle criticism, or do you? For me, I don't even ask. Don't criticize me unless you have constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Because as an educator, I think Sorry, this stupid headset. I got to figure out how to not use the headset, and because I want my voice hopefully to come through clearer. But anyway, how do you handle criticism? And I think people in that are new artists who weren't trained in art uh, need to understand that constructive criticism is good, but just criticism out of the blue without
Yeah.
even requesting it isn't good. So how do you handle criticism?
Well, I think that what you first have to do is understand that when you put out a piece of work, if it doesn't sell, that doesn't mean that it's bad, and it doesn't mean that it won't resonate with someone. I have like 690 pieces of work out. Probably 280 have sold,
Right,
right?
right.
So I still have, over
Yeah,
300 or 400 pieces left to sell, but
right,
it
right,
doesn't mean that those aren't good pieces of work. It just means they haven't found their owner yet.
right,
So I'm getting ready to release this Mother's Day collection, and there may be a chance that one sells, there may be a chance that none sell, but I don't base my success
hmm,
off how fast things sell.
right,
I base my success off how much I'm growing.
right,
What kind of support system am I creating for myself? What level of interaction and community am I building? How well am I getting across what I'm feeling and what I want to say and
right,
present
right,
to my collectors or my community? And
right.
that's how I base my success. So
That
yeah, go
No,
ahead.
that is a great way to look at it. I think that a lot, and I'm not surprised that you have 600 pieces out because I but I am a little because more, you hear as a new artist, you hear all the people talking about pricing and, scarcity and all of those buzzwords. You know, um, I think personally, I have lots of work,
Yeah,
photos and things like that. So it's like you curate them down, and then I guess it's like you have 600 pieces out. That's amazing.
yeah.
That's truly amazing. And, I mean, but some people are scared to put that much work out. I mean,
Yeah,
am
I
I
hear it
reading
all the
that?
time. It's like
Yeah.
it's a big debate, right?
Right.
So if you're not making your work scarce, it's not going to sell. Like people, you have too much out there. People
Right.
say that, but listen, I've been creating now for over a year. Well, I've been minting for 2 years, but
Right.
in the last year, I've really gotten into AI, and I have tens of thousands of images that I create because I
Right.
create every day.
Right. Oh, yeah, me
Today,
too. Yeah.
yeah, every day I create,
It's a
and so
practice. I mean, and if you don't
mhm.
put that into your calendar, I mean, it gets away from you. So you have to set aside some time,
Well, it's
you know?
therapy for me.
I was just gonna
Yeah,
say that, Tammy, because it's
it is.
therapy for me too.
Right,
Truly.
and If I listen, I do not touch the TV. I could care less if we watch TV. My wife loves TV. I'm not a TV person.
Me
But
neither. It's in the background.
yeah, give me my laptop or my iPad and let me go into my own world where I'm
Right.
creating.
Right.
And I'm happy. So I create all the time. And then I mint when something strikes me or I have a story to tell. And if I have a story to tell, I will create a collection. And I don't care if it's only been 2 weeks since my last collection.
Right.
Doesn't bother me at all because there's something inside me I need to get out and I
Right.
mint it.
Right.
So
Well, no,
yeah, I don't feel that way.
that's good advice. That's good advice. I'm, I don't know. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I'm not scared because I'm not scared, but it's like, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. You've given me something to think about because I haven't minted as much as I could. And then I burn stuff if nobody's buying it. I just
See,
take
I
it down.
don't.
Right.
Don't
And
do
I think that's
listen,
amazing. I wish I could
my
do that.
first auction, my first auction on foundation kicked off like 2 weeks ago, right? I
Right.
minted that piece beginning in December.
Right.
So,
Okay.
it just hadn't found its owner yet. And then
Right.
I got lucky, Copy Spaghetti found it and was like bid on it. And that was my first auction. And I have several pieces up on foundation for
Right.
auction that are just
Right.
sitting there, but they will find their owners too.
Right. And I truly believe that. I guess I have to practice what I preach. So, the question then is too, what other platforms do you market on? I mean, so do you just stick to Twitter or how do you venture out? How do you market yourself? Because that's really a major thing for artists.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. The major ones. I
Right.
really don't like Facebook, so I'm not on Facebook. I just
Right.
don't find the time to really figure it out, I guess.
Right.
Um, I'm on LinkedIn. I use
Right.
LinkedIn as well, and I think that's a missed opportunity for a lot of people is
I
LinkedIn.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
LinkedIn
Um,
has some, and they have probably people that have jobs and money. So,
Yeah. Well, and I work for MetaCampus, which
uh-huh.
is it's a platform that helps professionals
Okay.
transition from Web 2 into Web 3.
Nice.
So I work there full time as well. And so I'm surrounded by great professional people all the time. So,
Right.
I just I love what I do. So
I was going to ask about Medicamps. I don't want to change the topic, but
no.
um, are they? How did you get it? How did you get involved with them? Did you network and meet them online, or did
Yeah. So
you have a previous connection?
that's funny. So they've been building we just launched this year, but they've been building since January of 22.
Uh huh.
So quite a while. And their chief operations officer is Allison Alexander, who I met through Twitter.
Okay.
And her and I have just created this wonderful friendship all last year. And we had kind of this little group. It was myself, Allison, Sherry McCracken, who is a Hollywood producer,
Oh,
film
nice.
producer, and Linda Ray, who is a business consultant. So the
Right.
four of us kind of had our own thing. And then in December of last year, MetaCampus was hiring. And I got talking to Allison, and I'm like, I think I'd like to come on board. So she got me an interview with the founder because she's the chief operating officer, and I
Right.
met with Para, and I've been there since. So.
That's amazing. I love to hear these stories of networking because I mean, people are looking for work or jobs, because I've not had a real job
Yeah.
in years. I mean, so it's really interesting to hear how people get to where they're going. You don't have
Well,
to go
I
to
worked. Yeah,
Indeed
I worked
or
for
whatever.
Jada AI before that. So
Right.
right before I was there, I was with Jada AI for about 5 months. Still
Uh-huh.
great friends with the founder. So I've worked for a couple Web3 companies, and I think
Right.
that's what it's about. Really is trying. And like I said, it takes a little while to find your path and what
Right.
is your purpose here.
Right.
And my purpose here it's always been to kind of onboard women and spread the word to women that you can change your lives in Web3, like the stay-at-home moms, the
Yeah.
disabled moms,
Right.
or just women. You have an opportunity to change things. I did it. I was diagnosed with my disease, and they told me I would never work again.
Uh,
And, here I am.
right.
So
Right. Right.
there's opportunities.
Yeah, I think that everybody, deals with their challenges, and this is a great way and an opportunity to, get back out there
Yeah.
in a good way. So I I mean, it's always important for artists, and we talked about practicing our art on a daily basis.
Yeah.
How do
Yeah.
you stay inspired? I mean, what gets you going? What, do you like I had asked you on one of your images,
Mhm.
the woman with I wish I'll have to find it and show it, and it's on the banner, but it's the woman with the birds and things like that. And I asked you about what
Uh,
inspires you. And so you
okay. So
shared
you're talking
that with
about my
me.
profile picture, probably?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So that
Okay.
goes
This
back
is
to
a
the
great
inspiration.
story.
Right, right.
Yeah. This is a really good story. So my entire life, when something major is about to happen to me, a red cardinal will show up, and it's like it'll show up out of the blue, like, and it will literally like stay outside my house for like a week or 2 weeks and
Right.
chirp at me every day, and then something happens, and it's been that way. Well, I moved to North Carolina last year from
Mhm.
the north, and when I got here, the cardinal was here, and then
Oh,
it left, and I haven't had it back. Well, then it showed up again recently in the
oh,
last, like, I would say, maybe a few months ago when I put that profile picture on. So it showed up. And so immediately I went in and I started creating art with the cardinal. And so that piece, my profile piece, it has the woman with the hat on and the cardinal's
right,
like looking
right,
at her. And
right.
there's a face in the back. And I thought, this is the perfect profile picture for me, because we all, I think, have that voice
Right.
in the back of our mind that says, you know, you can't do that, or are you good enough, or just kind of like questioning us and
Mhm.
challenging us, and trying to create this fear to not push ahead or not do something.
Right.
And so, there it is,
There
and
it is.
there's the face. And so I've always, since I found out that I had the disease, I've always had to kind of keep that negative voice away and say, I'm going to choose to live positive. I'm going to meditate every day. I'm going to manifest joy and happiness and positivity. And I'm going to protect my time and value my
Yes.
time and who I spend it with. So
Right.
when that popped up there, I thought, this is who I am right now,
That
so
Yeah, I mean, I just it really is striking, and I love the flowers, and, I think you and I have a similar style,
yeah.
and, but you use red a lot. Is there is there a tie to that color? Because I see it streaming throughout all of your images.
Well, I think it's the cardinal,
Oh,
honestly.
okay.
I think it's the red cardinal, but it's funny, a lot of my images have the same kind of palettes. They got the yellows and
Mhm.
the blue, the turquoise, like, blue, and the reds.
Right.
And but I think it is because I use poppies a lot, and I
Okay.
use, cardinals. So that's kind of where the red comes in. Yeah.
Right, right, and I love, like, your, this image right here.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I like it evokes this kind of surreal, like, "Okay, I got it going on here," kinda thing. So, I is now is this part where would I show your new collection? You said it's on
It's
foundation.
if you just go to my pinned tweet right there, you can
Okay.
pull up.
Okay, here
So
it
if you
is.
click on
No
that image.
orange, and it goes. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
no, no, no. Don't
Nope,
click there
sorry.
because
Whoops.
it's not released yet. You just
Okay,
want to click on
sorry.
the image. That's okay.
Okay.
Known origin is just gonna, I mean, you can click on it, it'll take you to
Right.
flowers.
Yeah, yeah.
But that there is, those are parts of the collection. You can see that they're darker.
Yeah, 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 they're a
I
little
Yeah, and
little more.
it's only showing you bits and pieces, but the dog one is like one of my favorite ones because it's
Yeah,
the
I
mom.
like this one, right.
There's a kid on each side, and then the dog is sitting, so you can't see her face whatsoever. And I
Right.
thought, that is what we do. We put the children, the dog, even the dog
Right.
is, it
That's
gets
true. That's
attention more than
very
we do sometimes
true.
as moms. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So the dog is hiding the mom's face.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can't, it's family picture time and mom doesn't even get a place in it. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right, right. I think this story that you're telling with the moms will really resonate with a lot of women, honestly, and brings up the discussions of lots of things that we deal with as moms and parent, just as a parent in general, but especially a mom.
If
So,
you can click on that, click on the known origin, I'll show you flowers,
okay,
which is the
let's
one
see.
that's available right now.
Okay, I'm just going to copy the link address because it'll take us out of the what we're showing.
Oh,
So,
we don't
but
want to do
that's
that.
okay. I'm going to go and here we are. Okay.
So that's flowers.
Okay. Oh, I really like this. I
Yeah.
really do like this. Yeah, that's nice. It's a muted palette and
Yes.
yeah. So and I like the idea of, everybody gets flowers, but and you mentioned time. See, for
Yeah.
me, time is more valuable than flowers.
Yeah.
So, somebody coming and sharing their time with me, or I share my time with them because, time is something we can never get back.
That's right.
It's the only asset we can't make more of. We can make more money, we can get more
Yeah.
things, but you can't make more time. So when you spent it, it's gone. And
That's right.
I've always had that. My favorite quote is by Ursula Le Guin, and I'm paraphrasing that it's good to have a goal to journey towards, but it's the journey that matters in the end. No one
That's
makes it
right.
out alive.
That's
So
right.
live your best life and value your time. You can take away my stuff, but I
Hmm.
still have time.
I like to say, that there is no destination because we're always trying to get there, right? We're
Right.
like, we have these things for ourselves. If I do this, then I've made it. Or if I get here, then I've made it. But then you get there and you want to go here and you want to go there. So I always say there is no destination.
Right.
Stop focusing on where you're going and
Right.
just learn to enjoy what you're doing in the process and celebrate the wins. You
Right.
know,
Right.
I feel like sometimes people are afraid to talk about themselves on Twitter and like really celebrate what you're doing. But like this morning I woke up, it's my birthday, and the first thing that I
Yes,
see is
yes.
Known Origin posted a tweet saying these are the trending collectors for the week, and I'm in it. And I thought, what
Yay.
a great, why not celebrate your wins? Because I'll tell
Yes.
you, you're going to have bad days. So you may as well celebrate the good ones.
Right. I wrote a poem last night and it was called Gut Punch. Gut Punch Love. And, those times when somebody tells you something or whatever, and you feel that gut punch,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like, take a deep breath and think,
Mhm.
okay, that's my reminder to live in the moment
Yeah,
and not to worry about what happened yesterday or what's
right.
going to happen tomorrow, and to hug my loved ones a little tighter and to be kind to people because,
That's right.
we all have a story and we're all going through something. you know
Everyone. Yeah,
every single person on the
right,
planet,
right.
and so if we can come together and uplift each other and encourage each other, it's
Yeah,
really important. And I think through Nifty Dreams and what I'm doing on the weekly interviews with artists, it's trying to educate artists that we're not different.
right.
We are different, but we're all humans and we all have stories, and that's we're telling our stories through our art. So what's the best way to do that, and
Yeah,
uplift and amplify our voices together. And
yes.
so I I love, when is Mother's Day, by the way? I mean, I always get so
It's
confused.
like, I think it's like the May 15th.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
the collection drops on Monday.
Right.
And I'm going to do a few pieces at a time. I'm not going to do
Oh,
all of them at
good.
once. I'll do a
Good.
few at a time. And I think there's like 20 pieces in the collection. And then once they're all released, they'll stay there until they get purchased. And someone said to me recently, do you worry because it's a holiday collection that once the holiday's over, they won't sell? And I said, no, because these aren't like, they don't say Happy Mother's Day.
Right,
These
right.
are images that women can relate to because they've been through it. And it's a great
Mhm.
way for a man to kind of honor their wife or their mother, to understand, hey, I see you. I know
Right,
what you're
right,
doing
right,
to for these children. And I honor that. So no, I
right,
don't worry about it at all.
right. Well, and let's be honest, every day is Mother's Day, right?
Well, no, if it
It
was,
should
if every
be.
day was Mother's Day, then we wouldn't need a collection like this.
Well, it's Mother's Day in that it doesn't, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So it's I wanted to ask you, you said you how many 20 pieces in the collection, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you decide how many pieces to put in your collection?
Well, the Mother's Day collection probably has 500 pieces,
Okay,
honestly.
and you found
Um,
20 that you want. You curated
yeah.
20.
Well, I've created way more than
Or no,
500.
curated. Curated.
Yeah, I
Curated.
curated like
Right,
500,
right,
but like
right,
I said,
right.
I've been working on this for a couple months. So I don't stop creating. So like there's a piece, if in the pin tweet, there's a piece of a
Let me bring that
woman
up
in
again.
a red dress, and she has like a greenish blue. It's on my Twitter.
Okay, I'm gonna go
Um,
back there. Whoops.
And I just made that last week, I think. See
Okay.
her in the red dress.
Yes,
I
yes.
just made her like last week, but yet the dog sitting on the mom, I made that a couple months ago. So I constantly am creating, but I finally got to the point where I stopped because
Okay.
stop with this collection
Right.
because I know what I want to say. I want to make sure there's a style for everyone that kind of
Mhm.
relates to different ways. But I want to stay true to how I feel in every single piece, and each one's going to have a story
Right,
about that mom. So
right,
they will have a name and they will have a story, and so hopefully people can connect and relate to that.
right. And so when you're publishing, excuse me, on Known Origin, you
Mhm.
you include your story and everything, correct?
Oh
For the
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Every collection on Known Origin that I have is a store is a it's a story. Like
Okay.
I think Children of the Future is in there, which are pod babies.
Oh, that's
They
cool.
were born in San Francisco lab and they don't need sperm and egg. They're built with DNA. And
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, but I'm a storyteller. That's what I am.
Right,
So
right.
most of my collections have stories. Yeah.
Well, and I that resonates because people love stories. And like I
Yeah.
said, everybody has a story. And I love that you're using your storytelling with your images because so many artists miss that opportunity,
Yeah.
you know? And with going back to AI, if you use Chat GPT, I know everybody's talking about that and everything, but
Yeah.
it can provide you with prompts or what is the word I'm looking for, and just seeds that you can take and run with and create your own story. You don't you know It doesn't create your story for you, it just helps maybe share and brainstorm with you. If you don't have
Yeah.
somebody to brainstorm with, get on Chat GPT, say act as a consultant or act as my art,
Yeah.
you know coach or
Muse.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, my art muse. And just start talking, and then things are going to come up and you're going to go, ah, yes, that's the thread I wanted to take or whatever. Because I mean,
Or if you're a person like me who has, I say this, there's so much going on all the time in my head
right.
that I definitely don't need anyone to help me because I'd be overwhelmed. But what I say is my collectors and my community that follow me must say, I wonder which personality Tammy is, what personality is creating art today, because some days it'll be like Degemville. I have a cartoon animated collection,
Huh?
or it could be dark, or it could be, but I'll give you this little bit of information that not a lot of people know, but some people do, but
Okay.
most of my work, most of it will be abstract, surreal women, feminine in some way, but not the standard conventional view of beauty. But they're
Right.
beautiful, and the
Right.
reason I relate to this so much is this disease that I have causes the left side of my body to atrophy.
Mm-hmm.
So I have, a weaker leg, a weaker arm, but it's also causing the left side of my face to atrophy.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something that I had to learn to be okay with. The left side
Yeah.
of my face
Yeah.
is going to age a lot faster than the right side. And I thought to myself, what is the biggest concern for me? Because is beauty superficial? You know what I mean? Like, am
Right.
I
Right.
so worried that people are going to stare at my face and go, why is it different? And then I thought, eh, you show people how you're beautiful, and it's your
Right.
words, and it's what you bring to the world, and it's your positivity and your kindness and your generosity, and my children, my
Right.
grandchildren, that's my beauty.
Right.
So I like to challenge what beautiful is, and that is where most of my work comes from.
That's very special. Thank you for sharing that with us. I think that took, I mean, it's courageous because when we as women get that message throughout our
Yeah.
lives that we have to be pretty,
Yeah.
and we see I mean, we're in the same generation.
Yeah.
And growing up, that was what it was. I mean, and we've spent our lives trying to figure it out and
Yeah.
not that to understand the wholeness of our person as opposed to just the outer appearance, the meat suit, as I call
Yeah.
it, or
It
as my
takes a while
partner
to get
calls it.
there too, which is why I don't mind being 52, because I feel like I'm a better person today than I was in my 40s, and or in my 30s. Like
Right,
I feel
right.
like I am exactly who I'm supposed to be. Yeah.
And you're at the exact place where you need to be,
Yeah.
right? Happy, happy, happy birthday.
Thank
Happy
you.
52. I mean, that, yeah.
Yay.
We've another circle around the sun, and we're in the same birthday month. Mine was on the 6th. So,
Ah,
yeah, yeah.
well,
So,
happy birthday to you as well.
thank you. Thank you. 20 days apart.
Oh,
But it was great being a spring baby. If you lived in the north, though, it might have been a little difficult because of the snow and stuff. But
oh yeah. Well, I'm
I'm,
out of there now.
oh,
I'm in the
that's
south.
good. That's good. So, you're in North Carolina. So, you have a nice spring then, right?
Oh yeah, and we're right by the beach. Like, we're 10 minutes from the
Oh,
beach. So
oh,
yeah.
that's very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, I'm in the mountains at 8,500 feet at the base of Pikes Peak,
Oh,
and we get the most snow that we ever get in the entire year in April.
oh wow.
So all of our spring snow usually happens in April, and we just recently they said we were going to get 2 feet, but I'm looking
Mhm.
outside right now and we probably got about 8 inches. So they were off
Oh wow.
just a little bit, but we got some moisture. And so, as we're closing out, I wanted to
Mhm.
ask you about what you do to decompress. So, you use art as your therapy. Do you have any other
Yeah.
hobbies that you like to, yeah,
Yeah.
refuel your soul, so to speak, besides
Well,
art?
we live on a lake. We live right by a lake, and it's 4 miles around. So, and
Wow.
it's filled with alligators too, just so you know. But my wife and I, when she gets home from work, I usually have dinner ready, and then after dinner, we walk the lake. We don't walk the whole 4 miles. We walk 2 miles, 1 mile, 1 mile, 1 mile back, 2 miles
Right.
every day. We
Nice.
could walk the 4 miles, but she doesn't usually want to when she gets home from work. So we
Sure.
love doing that. And then on the weekends, we go to the beach and we just sit and decompress. And but we also have like a great downtown area with a bunch of like craft breweries and comedy clubs and live theater. And I, like I said, I've always loved everything creative. So we go downtown and just walk around, and we'll stop in, and the locals, it'll just be a comedy show of, local comedians that just want to get up and do like stand up, and
Oh,
it's
nice.
so fun. So yeah. And we went to the art museum yesterday for my birthday too.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah.
Nice. So, what would you give? I mean, this is the final question. What would you give?
Okay.
What advice would you give to new artists coming into Web3, trying to make the transition? What just starting out? What would advice would you give them?
I would advise them to not. It is so hard for artists because they think they have to sell, and some people are going to try to do this for a living, and you can do it for a living. Now, if you're an amazing artist that gets noticed right away, you have a good chance of making it, right? But if you're like the rest of us that
Right.
don't get noticed right away, you
Right.
have to build. And it's just like any job, you have to continue to show up, build every day,
Right.
um, make genuine connections,
Yes. Yes.
right? Like build a community. Don't just every single day say, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. You have
Right.
to let them know who you are, right? So
Right.
I mean, a lot of my good morning posts, I have a lot of the same people that we talk back and forth every day. And they'll say good morning. I say good morning, but it's not usually just GM. I tell them I hope they have an amazing day. And because I feel like spreading positivity is so important to me.
Right.
And that shows in my work too, I think, with the vibrance colors. So it's about, stop focusing so much on the selling and let people
Right.
get to know you
Right.
and what you have to say, and then they'll automatically come.
Right.
The sales will
Tell
come.
tell your story. That's
Yeah,
kind of what I summarized from everything you just
yeah,
said. Because what resonates for me with your art is that you tell the story.
yeah,
And that's what people, just like, for example, if we just look at one of your pieces and we go, okay, that I react to it, I like it, it's beautiful.
right,
I smile, it's whimsical, that kind of thing. But with the story, it
yeah,
kind of pulls you in. And then you're able to go, you know what? Yeah, that's me. Or that, they resonate with the story too, or what the intention was behind your piece. And I said I was going to close, but I just wanted to say and ask you one more thing on your birthday. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
hmm,
Is that a lot of people, well, the AI debate, whether AI is really art and da da da
yeah,
da. We had that debate with when photography came out.
yeah,
There's intention behind your art. You
yeah,
mentioned it. You intentionally do things. You intentionally create this and include this.
hmm.
That just blows that argument. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, okay, so I've been in many of those discussions because I am
Right.
I'm a tourist, which means I'm a bull, and that means that if I'm in a space and someone's saying something I disagree with, I will go up and debate. Now, I don't do that in a way that's argumentative because I
Right.
believe that we grow when we listen to others. But
Yeah.
my argument for this is anyone, my 2-year-old granddaughter, if she could, type at words, could go in and just type a couple words, and there's a chance you could get an amazing photo, right?
Right.
So
Right.
anyone can go in there and play around and get great pictures.
Right.
But to be an artist, it's different because you have to be consistent
Mhm.
with. You don't have to have the same kind of art because sometimes I'm abstract and sometimes I'm illustrative, sometimes I'm decoupage.
Mhm.
So I don't think you have to have the same style, but you have to be consistent with your story.
Right.
And um in order to do that, you have to be a storyteller. You have to be creative to be
Mhm.
an artist. And if you don't have that natural ability,
Right.
I don't care how many AI tools I throw at you. If you don't
Right.
have that natural creativity inside, you're never going to be an AI artist.
Right. Right. I
So it's
agree.
art.
It is right. And I think what I found in the AI community is in artists and sharing, now that it's more acceptable, is that they're you're willing to share your prompts, and so that you can share with people, how to learn and how to create something like, you have. So yeah, I think it's intentional. I think we're obviously in agreement. But I think there is a debate, and there's more to come. AI is growing quickly and
Yeah.
changing daily. There's so many things coming out and so many things to keep up
I
on.
do want to end it with advice to an AI artist.
Okay,
Okay. For
good.
someone
Yes.
that is creative, that is thinking about getting into AI art, but is afraid because of that stigma that may be attached to it. What
Right.
I want to say is we are at the beginning of a brand new variation of art. We AI art is not going anywhere. It's been around. I mean, Claire
Yes.
AI has been doing this for a long time, and
Right.
that's why she's selling $10,000 pieces right now.
Right.
But
Right.
we're at the beginning of this era of AI art coming in. It's going to continue. So
Yep.
what I say is 5 years from now, there will be tons of people, masses of people using AI art and doing AI art to create advertising and all kinds of things, illustrations for books, comic books, everything.
Right. Right.
If you start now, you are one of the earliest AI artists, and that
Hmm.
is going on the blockchain, which
Yep.
becomes a part of history.
Yes.
Do not let anyone tell you that you shouldn't be doing it, and don't let anybody's voice in that head. That person back here on my hat is never going to tell me not to do something because I know that I'm making an impact.
Right. I agree. That is a good way to leave it. And I appreciate your time on your birthday. It was
Thank
so
you.
nice to talk to you face to face. I know we've shared some, spaces, Twitter spaces, and that was
Yeah.
awesome too. And I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on and sharing.
Oh,
And
thank
don't
you.
miss her drop on next Monday, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's the
Next
Mother's
Monday.
Day collection, and so excited to see that.
And go pick up
Go
go pick up an edition of flowers.
I'm gonna do that today. I can afford $10. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great, you know,
Well, in Nona Origin,
motivation.
the artists, we pay the gas fees.
Oh,
So when
nice.
we mint, we pay the gas fees. So it,
Right.
it won't cost you like on OpenSea $50 to go mint it.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Well, that's great that, I'm sorry you're having to pay the mint fees, but it's we're gonna pick them up anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm saying though, we do that. Each platform's different, and Nona
Right.
Origin is a great place to um, reward your collectors
Oh, okay.
with early access and discount.
Okay.
So we don't mind paying the gas fees because
Right.
it goes right back to building a genuine community,
Right.
doing things the
Right.
right way.
Right.
So
Well, and that's another thing we'll have to cover in a future session is the different platforms because,
yeah,
I kind of just stick to one. I'm on Foundation other ones, but I like OpenSea. You don't pay anything up front. You just mint and it's done. But
yeah. Well, I'm
everybody,
on all of them. I'm on OpenSea, Spaceables Foundation, Known
wow.
Origin, and Object. The only one I haven't gotten to yet is Super Rare, but that's my goal for next year. So,
Well, and we'll be amplifying your voice and hopefully you reach your goal.
well, thank
So,
you.
thank you, Tammy. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
take you off the stage now and then
Okay.
have a couple of announcements. So,
All right.
thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for staying with us. If you're still here, I wanted to just include you in a couple of announcements. Nifty Dreams, we're making strides all the time with what's coming up. We're doing the augmented reality. I don't know if you follow Tech Bubble, but you need to follow him on Twitter, and he lets some announcements for the augmented reality. He's got some announcements and almost finished with that, so that's really cool. In the background, we're also working on some educational content for you, and I wanted to point out and share with you the weekly newsletter that we publish, and it's on Medium. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with that. And where we have some, let's see, this week was really a great newsletter, and it was with creative empowerment. We've shared that, right now we have 2,000 artists on the Iranian DAO, the Freedom VPN, which I'm really proud of for the DAO donating that service to the artists in Iran and their struggle. So I also wanted to talk about the weekly tech style and marketing tips. This guerrilla style art marketing will give you some really good hints for promotional tactics and art that you can use on social media. That's something that Tammy and I talked about in our interview, and she shared some of the things that she does. And I think these are really good to add. And I think one of the most important thing is to be authentic and don't come off as a stalker. Don't ask everybody to buy your art every day. So they know you're there, and build a connection with your community. Also, creating your own style as an artist, we kind of touched on that. And I did want to talk to Tammy about that, but when you go through your work, you'll see your style kind of coming through, even if you don't do it intentionally. But these are some hints that we've covered in the newsletter that talk about creating your own style as an artist so that people can recognize you. And so how do you develop that as an artist? And so there's 5 tips here that you can use in your daily life and your educational journey as an artist to to help you create that style that everyone wants to have. So that's kind of it. Don't miss our weekly show next week, same time, same place, 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. UTC. And so happy that I'm able to be here and share with you guys and bring you the good news of Nifty Dreams, and dream on, dream big. And that is, we'll leave it with that for now. Also, if you have seen our call for artists for the interview section of our weekly show, please reach out. The DMs are open on the Nifty Dreams account, and you can also join us in Discord. So again, thank you for joining us, and I am going to see you again.